So the LA Chargers are a team that we all know that pretty much goes ahead and says that they're the defending Super Bowl champions. Are they? Well, before we go ahead and answer that question, I mean, yes, they kind of did win a few things, but there's been some breaking news that shocked the league that pretty much has people pretty much people shocked. And now that we're going to go ahead and get in, let's go ahead and hop into the video. Break. Also, be sure to go ahead, before we go ahead and hop into this one, be sure to go ahead, smash the like on the video. Go ahead and also subscribe to my channel. This will also be, go ahead and subscribe to my main channel, which will be in the link in the description. Let's go ahead and hop in. What is good, everyone that's watching? This is your boy, the Brown Man. There's so many things I want to go ahead and talk about. The biggest thing is probably pretty much what is pretty much going on about this. And well, this is very shocking news. And this was breaking news coming out. And this one has come from Reese, the AFL commissioner. I mean, before this one, and this first one is about the LA Chargers. Now, if you guys don't know, sorry about the cough. I'm coughing. The Chargers have went ahead, and they were originally going ahead, and they pretty much were the kind of like the league champions and all that stuff. We already know, but as there was a statement released today, and this statement was after so much evidence that overall, when I saw this, I was shocked. There are people that are just expired. They're like, everyone just doesn't know what happened. Now for this one, it was basically overall, that was basically a thing, but this is breaking news, and that was that there was pretty much one of the manager of Justice Gores had started an investigation on the Chargers on whether they had used anything illegal. Well, this has gone ahead and turned crazy. So I'm gonna go ahead and read everything out here, word from word. Well, actually, I'm gonna show y'all. So this is basically the document. This is what it basically says. Good day, AFL. You may be surprised that Afl Judge was to investigate the Chargers, as you all know, for a high representation for teams that win a lot of games. And that's just starts off. But here's it. I self-thought that these guys couldn't have done that much, but I was tipped off about suspicious activity. I couldn't let it go unchecked, of course, but I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of time here. And that overall, what Gores did about going ahead and pretty much everyone. Overall, it's a big shock. In fact, there was some suspicious activity. They went ahead and after some investigation, it started with the statement Tim Drake said that he would as the Miz 49 should called the Dynasty 7. Now all he did, it was a good starting point to go ahead and see where they were at. So overall, it was basically evidence coming in. Kashiak claimed to have X-Clips account information plus X-Clips is already inactive. To top this, some even recommended Offensive Rookie of the Year last season, 33 Dell, to go ahead and use it. Although Dell did get suspended for it, I think he did serve suspension, but like. Overall, it's basically pretty much it. Well, but the reply that Dell said, he said he already used it in the past, but was just afraid to use it in the Super Bowl. And this is proof they have been alting / sharing accounts. Again, but a reminder that, and Gores did say again, X-Clip wasn't in the Super Bowl, so I couldn't make the game invalid. However, there's so many people I'm not account NFL that influenced me to make it as an ineligible account, and they even showed proof of this. And finding this out was just really. It was just basically everything else. And it turns out that he went ahead and had revealed that he had altered an AFL game. And a bunch of the Chargers players knew about this account. Well, overall, they went ahead. Overall, after this investigation, it didn't even stop there. It turns out that it was revealed that they had been altered in the past. The key word on the bottom on this entire thing was even. This changes it pretty much not only changed the concept of the entire thing. And of course, and then he goes ahead and looks here was that the Chargers had a game versus the Giants before he had started conducting the investigation. He had watched the choice word said from both sides, and it seemed to mean that the Chargers were hiding something. Overall, he was basically showing evidence all around. But there was actually proof that pretty much that there was tampering with the playoffs. That was the only one. I mean, it was the only one proved. Gores was. It was enough to go ahead and put them in the hot seat. And it turns out that the account Zell with a Glock was used throughout the playoffs, and since seeing this has proved to me that not only did the Chargers alt the majority of the season 8 regular season, extend it to the playoffs. Overall, after so many things, they end up getting the rings taken away. So they have determined that the rings will be taken away, and there will be no season 8 winner. But here comes the good news, though, and this is actually good news for quarterback for Seahawks quarterback kyretra. That would mean that he will go ahead and he got his ring. So that meant so overall the Seahawks were automatically dubbed the champions. So this basically means this. This basically means not only did the Chargers win, but not only all throughout season 8, they went ahead. They knocked out the Broncos out of the playoffs. Dez pretty much got it. So overall, I was kind of ticked finding out about this. I was kind of ticked. So I went ahead and I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and be right back real quick. So alright, so I went ahead and I posted pretty much what about this whole thing. And if you ask me, it's disgusting. It's a disgusting act. Basically, the Chargers were the Chargers are entering the season 5-1, but I mean they're 6-1. So luckily, so this is pretty much really big. So with all this stuff, they went ahead and used that's when they went ahead and had those reactions. That basically means that pretty much kyretra would be crowned champion. And well, I mean, it's good. And for me, it's very, 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 very good news to him. Because I'm gonna tell you this though, kyretra. This is basically so now he receives his 3rd ring, which is the most by any AFL QB. But like I said, he did transition to wide receiver. So basically, overall this year, last season was just like I said, I really wanted kyretra to go ahead and win that game. Again, in the season 8 Super Bowl. And when I was pissed off when they went ahead and lost to the Chargers. I'm just gonna be honest. But the one thing you have to go ahead and do, move on. And now we found all this out. It's basically it's unbelievable. So either way, there were suspensions that were handed down. First one up was pretty much X-Clip, as he's gone ahead and suspended 2 seasons So he's suspended the rest of the season. He's not allowed to play season 10, and he isn't allowed to go ahead and play season 11 up until week 8. So overall, and this is for allowing an account to be shared and used as an alt. And of course, Barnett, the guy that pretty much has became a meme for pretty much selling one of the most easiest passes of pretty much his career. Overall, it really just caps it. In fact, the Chargers have went ahead and after this whole thing, they went ahead and released. So overall, they basically went ahead and they were forced to disband following a suspension. Well, that's not all. Dal is going to be suspended for the rest of the season, and you'll miss most of the season because due to the account sharing. And well, I can't say that this is pretty much a bummer for the offense for the rookie of the for one of the rookie of the years. Well, this is basically a bummer. So it's overall the Titans will go ahead and they will lose. The offensive rookie of the year to this. And the former All Pro and Pro Bowler will have to go ahead and take some time. And this is basically kind of crazy stuff all the way. So now I can officially say that now that the Chargers the season's basically over for Dell. And it's basically a bummer. That basically means now pretty much the AFC West is now up for grabs. I mean, they're 6-1. Don't mind about it, but those replacements ain't, unless the Chargers can come back. The Chargers can come back together, pick up a beat. They might go ahead, and they might. Now, I mean, the Chargers are looking to they'll take home the AFC West Division title, but if there are trash players that come to the Chargers now, and they go ahead and suck the rest of the season, I mean, the Chargers basically, they're 6-1. A reminder, it's an AFL, and Season 9 is a 12-game season, so basically, they have a non-losing record. This is basically good news for some of the teams. The first team, I mean, it's good news. I mean, it's not good news for the Broncos. I mean, it's kind of good news for the Broncos, but the Broncos are kind of out of the contention spot. But it's very good news for the Raiders and the Chiefs. I mean, the Raiders, they're probably not going to go ahead and probably make the playoffs because they haven't really gone ahead and connected. And yeah. I probably would have gone ahead and taken away all the Chargers wins, and whoever went ahead and lost to the Chargers. So overall, the teams that they did beat. So like week 1, they went ahead and beat the Chiefs. Give the Chiefs the win. Overall, I'm gonna go ahead and be right. It's gonna be something to talk about. And it's gonna be something to talk about. And it's gonna be unbelievable. So if you ask me, yes, taking the rings is just it's fair punishment, but they could. But if you ask me, the Chargers could have gone ahead and altered this season as well. Go ahead, take away their 6 wins and make them 0-7. Basically, it's fair. It's like overall, it's fair. So you give a win. So overall, you give a win to the Chiefs. The Chiefs. So overall, in this first 6-week stretch, you go ahead and give a win to the Chiefs, and then you go ahead and give a win to the Bills. Give a win to the Dolphins. Give a win to the Jets, and give a win to the Raiders, and also give one to the Giants. If you ask me, so now in my brain now, the Giants are still undefeated. They're basically so overall Giants that one loss to me. The Giants they're one loss today, so they're kind of 6-0 in my book. And the Chiefs 4-2. The Raiders 3-3. The Panthers, they went ahead and beat them. So if you ask me, I'm not going to go ahead and advocate for that because But the Jets, give them a win as well. As much as I hate Pred isn't. I already know Pred. He goes ahead and he grinds for that shit. Yes, he doesn't have those rings. It's like he doesn't have rings and he's a pickup warrior, but at least he's more committed. So, overall, give Pred a win, at least. That's like the least you can do to pretty much help out Pred's male pride. And of course, give a win to the Dolphins. And the Dolphins, they're 2-4. So the Dolphins, they should be improved to 3-3. So they took it on pretty much. So if you ask me, Bills are 3-3, Dolphins should be 3-3, and Jets should be 5-1. Chiefs and Raiders are 4-2 and 3-3 respectively in my book, and of course the Giants are 6-0. If for the Panthers though, I'm not gonna go ahead and say crap because like I said, they already went ahead and beat them. So basically, let's give them something. But with this overall makes pretty much knocks Gimme out of the MVP race. But despite pretty much some people going ahead and be suspended for the rest of the season, if you're Dell, it's a bummer. He ends the season with 31 catches for 724 yards and 9 touchdowns in 7 games. It wasn't as much as he had back when he was a rookie last year, when he had 53 grabs for 1,385 yards and 22 touchdowns. But to be fair, like I'm going to say here, that was in 10 games. And he was basically the bailout for dimes from Lego. So basically, now that part is pretty much explained. If you go for Gimme, he goes ahead and ends his season with 2,708 passing yards, 32 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. There are some other guys that were going to get suspended. Iseko and Takashi. And I'm not talking about like that. That's Takashi 6'9". I do apologize if you guys think of it. This man is basically like XTX and then Kashi, like Kashi. So it makes it sound like Takashi. The heck? It makes you wonder. Now, overall, Barnett, who was basically who wasn't really having a season, he goes ahead. Although he's suspended for the rest of the season, at least he goes ahead and he has something to go ahead and talk about. Zeko, he's gone for the rest of the season. He'll be back week 8. So if you're wondering about, I'm not sure how Zeko's stats are pretty much are, but I think I'm not saying it, but I kind of do think that well, there's not really much you can really say. So with that taken care of, Glock in my pocket. It was on the Chargers. He goes and gets suspended for pretty much. He gets suspended and he'll be back in time for the season finale with the intent to alt. Bad news for. This is pretty much bad news for pretty much for the season 8 Pro Bowler. But I doesn't have anything on that stock. Sid, who is banned for being a shared account. And so overall, basically, it's basically gonna be a big one. But the big one here is for Gimme. He's suspended for the rest of the season. He's suspended 1 season for alt knowledge, and he'll be blacklisted as a head coach. Now, with this all said and done, it's basically going. This is basically going ahead and just resulting. Now, although this is basically the main, pretty much the main talk of everything, I do want to go ahead and I do bring good news, and this is from the ACFL. Was that the Senior Bowl? How it's going to work this season? We'll go ahead and have the Big Ten and the SEC to form Team North, which will go ahead and be coached by Finley. And don't think I said the other thing, the SEX word. The thing I said is, okay, I'm going to call it the SEC. So SEC and the Big Ten will be in one conference. The Big 12 and the ACC will be Team South, which will be coached by Spud. And also, there will also be an award honor called which will be All-American, which will basically be given out to the best players at the respective positions, and honorees will be selected at the end of the regular season. If you ask me, you basically go ahead and you're pretty much going to go ahead and ask for pretty much a lot. So, well, with pretty much everyone talking about this, overall, I'm pretty much I'm kind of shocked about it, but I'm kind of not really. And so overall, this is basically so much to go ahead and pretty much talk about. So I kind of go ahead and I do kind of feel overall I don't feel sorry for the Chargers, because that just basically shows that cheaters never win. Overall, I'm just going to go ahead and end this thing for today. I mean, next, actually, I'm not going to. So don't leave. So I'm going to make this quick. All I can't say is that with this pretty much these honors just basically goes ahead and adds that the All-Americans basically kind of like the college version of All-Pro. And, well, I don't think that I'm just going to go and tell you this though. There are some guys that I think will go ahead and get named All-American, like Val or Zaven. But if you ask me, I don't think I'm going to go ahead and be named it, because not even for the Senior Bowl too, because although, like I said, for me, I can't overall I'm pretty much statistically unproductive, but I mean the only thing I do bring is basically, like, overall, if you looked at the routes, like watch my film, you basically go ahead and look to see this man only runs routes that basically helps his teammates out. Like, basically, when Gab was able to go ahead and score a couple for touchdowns, when there was people that went ahead and were able to score touchdowns, would basically be drawing double coverage. So overall, not really talk much about this anymore. Well, if you guys went ahead and enjoyed everything, please sure to go ahead and smash the like and subscribe. We'll see y'all next time. Saddle up, saddle out.